I'm JC Gordon, founder of Eden Real and the Church of Eden. Throughout this Meaning of Life series, we have been uncovering an entirely new understanding of life from God's perspective, as it was revealed to me during my near-death experience. Now, so far, we've discovered that fear is humanity's greatest addiction. So far, we've discovered that fear survives within the horizontal dimension of time through regret about the past and anxiety about the future. We've discovered that God lives within the vertical dimension of timelessness, perfect love, and unlimited happiness. We've even explored why humanity is here, why God is a person and a place. And in our last episode, we discovered the garden within. We discovered that Eden is not merely a physical garden humanity lost thousands of years ago. Eden is the divine reality of God waiting to be activated within us. But what happens as Eden begins growing within our consciousness? What fruit does this inner garden produce? Well, the answer is unlimited happiness, not temporary pleasure, not happiness dependent upon money, relationships, achievements, or circumstances. Unlimited happiness is the natural fruit of becoming one with God's perfect love. It is part of our divine inheritance. And this is the Eden we are activating within us. Now, every human being wants to be happy. Behind almost everything we pursue is the belief that it will eventually make us feel happier, right? We believe we will be happy when we become successful. Many of us believe we'll be happier when we have more money. Some believe we will be happier when we find the right relationship, or when our health improves, or when our problems disappear. But this creates a dangerous condition. Our happiness becomes dependent upon something outside of us. When we do not have what we want, we fear we may never receive it. And when we finally receive it, we fear we may lose it. This is conditional happiness. Conditional happiness is controlled by fear on the horizontal dimension of time. It remembers what once we had. It compares our lives with others. It worries about what may happen next. Fear continually moves happiness into the future and tells us, you can be happy someday, but not yet. Now, humanity has been searching for the unlimited happiness through limited things. By possessions, achievements, and circumstances that can only provide temporary experiences. The unlimited happiness of God cannot be acquired through accumulation. It's only activated through transformation. We do not find it by adding more things to our lives. We unlock it by removing the fear that has buried Eden within us. An inheritance is something prepared for you because of who you are and to whom you belong. It's not earned through fear, striving, or proving your worth. It is received through relationship. If we are children of God or the image of God, then the nature of God is the inheritance waiting to unleash itself within us. God is not controlled by regret. God is not imprisoned by anxiety. God does not live in shame, scarcity, or fear. God is perfect love, is peace, is abundance, and is unlimited happiness. Therefore, everyone's divine inheritance is not merely something God gives us, it is the life of God becoming activated within us. Now, Jesus revealed this when he said the kingdom of God is within us. He was not promising a life without sadness, loss, or difficulty. He was revealing an inner relationship with God so deep that external circumstances would no longer or could no longer control our spiritual reality. Unlimited happiness does not mean we will never experience grief or pain. Absolutely not. It means that beneath every temporary emotion, there remains an eternal foundation of love, peace, purpose, a connection with God, our divine inheritance. That foundation, it's Eden. Eden is our divine inheritance. Now, there was 3 minutes of my life when my consciousness and awareness was taken out of time. It was taken from my body, which remained in here in time during those 3 minutes while I was dead, and it entered the reality of God beyond the limits of time. Now, as I've said over and over again, I didn't want to come back from that experience, right? Then I'll tell you why. If you can think of your most profound moments of love, of bliss, of happiness, of joy, put them all together and multiply it by infinity, that's what I was experiencing. That's what God is. That's why I didn't want to come back. Now, over the last 30 years, quite frankly, I've had a difficult time putting words together with it because it's so profound. It was a complete aliveness, a complete belonging, a complete freedom from fear. Now, I did not need to accomplish anything before I experienced my near-death experience in God's love. I did not need to possess anything. I did not need to prove that I was worthy. I didn't wake up one morning and think, well, today's going to be the day I'm going to put a chainsaw through my throat and I'm going to kill myself. No, it just happened. Perfect love was not simply an emotion I felt while I was dead. It is the infinite reality of who God is, of who we are, of what our divine inheritance of Eden and everything that Jesus showed us is possible. That's within us. It's within our heart consciousness. God was the loving presence I encountered. And God was the limitless environment of perfect love absolutely surrounding me. I was not merely observing Eden. I was within Eden. I was within God's perfect love. And I've come to understand that Eden exists and is within every single one of us. Unlimited happiness is not an occasional reward God sends us when everything goes well. No, it is the natural condition of our eternal consciousness, that 99% of unconsciousness we haven't unlocked, that is our heart's consciousness. That's when we unlock when separation and fear are removed. Now, when I returned, I understood that humanity does not have to wait until we die to begin experiencing that reality. The God I encountered beyond time exists within the infinite depth of every single one of us. That is our divine inheritance. That is the seed of Eden that is already within us. Yes, our divine inheritance of God, Eden, and Jesus is already within us. We just haven't unlocked it yet. And I'll tell you why. Because fear has buried this awareness of it completely away from us. And what the Church of Eden does through our certified eternalization specialists is a process called eternalization that removes fear so that the eternal life of God can emerge within us, his divine inheritance, his Eden, his life that Jesus was, and God. Now, activating that Eden within us is very simple to do because every thought, every belief, every decision and action is planting and cultivating that inner Garden of Eden within us. Now, fear plants a seed within that garden of our consciousness that I call the weed seed. But perfect love plants another. Fear through that weed seed produces anxiety, resentment, judgment, scarcity, anger, control, disease, aging, and ultimately death. That's what everyone is as we hang off that horizontal arm of the cross that Jesus represented to us when he was crucified. He had nails of steel through his hands to show that we are all on this horizontal arm of the cross, controlled by fear. But perfect love moves up that vertical arm of the cross of God. It produces God, which is peace, which is trust, which is forgiveness, courage, compassion, creativity, abundance, and unlimited happiness. Now, this means that unlimited happiness is not something you add to your life from your outside consciousness, where you've been focused your whole life up until now. No. Unlimited happiness is the fruit of Eden growing within you. Every fear that we release removes another weed from our Garden of Eden and from our mind's consciousness. Every time we forgive, it's like we're tilling the soil. We're preparing the soil. We're making the Garden of Eden more alive. Every time we enter into timelessness, as we start to evolve our perception and awareness up that vertical arm of God's cross, we're watering God's seed of Eden, of himself and of Jesus within us to grow. And the further up we move that vertical arm of the cross, the more our roots expand and grow our tree of life, of Eden, of God, and of Jesus within us. Now, every time we choose perfect love instead of fear, the nature of God grows more deeply within our consciousness. It's within that 99% of our heart consciousness that we've never known is there that we are now activating. And this, as I was shown in my near-death experience, is 100% how Eden becomes activated within us, how God becomes activated within us, how everything that Jesus was, which is God, becomes activated in us. We are not trying to return to a garden that disappeared thousands of years ago. No. We are awakening the eternal garden God planted within humanity, literally from the very beginning. From the very beginning, of the Garden of Eden. And from the very beginning, when we were born, this seed of God in Eden, in the life that Jesus was, which is God, is within us all. It's our heart consciousness. It's been planted in there. It's now time for us to make a free will choice and decide what's best for us, to continue to live on that horizontal timeline of fear that Jesus showed us 100%, that it's only going to end up in death, that every other person who's ever lived here before us has 100% proven. Now, as I saw during those 3 minutes where my awareness and consciousness was in the eternal everythingness that God is, I saw that within the minds of humanity right now, our minds are 100% choked off by the weeds within our consciousness garden that fear has created. And I saw that as fear decreases, perfect love increases, unlimited happiness becomes less dependent upon external circumstances. You will stop just simply visiting occasional moments of happiness. You will become the place of happiness where happiness lives, where Eden is now starting to grow within you, where God is now starting to grow in you, where the life that Jesus was, that perfect love, is starting to grow within you. We are literally becoming Eden. So, how can you begin activating your divine inheritance of God now? Well, I'm going to give you 3 simple ideas to consider. First, I want you to recognize the difference, and listen to this very closely here, the difference between pleasure and unlimited happiness. Now, pleasure depends upon what is happening around you. But unlimited happiness grows from what is happening within you. Your seed of Eden is starting to germinate. It's starting to grow. The second thing I want you to notice, and I want you to notice this wherever your happiness becomes conditional. If you hear yourself thinking or saying, I cannot be happy until this happens. No, I have to do this first. I want you to pause and I want you to ask this question. What fear is separating you from experiencing God's presence of unlimited happiness right now? And whatever it is, I don't want you to guilt yourself. I don't want you to condemn yourself because you're feeling fear. That's what everybody is feeling in their life because humanity has been programmed for the last 6,000 years to focus their attention on the outside. And when you do that, you are only bringing in the predominant energy of fear on the outside in every circumstance of your life and in every circumstance of everybody else's life. So don't guilt yourself. Don't condemn yourself. One thing that I saw during my near-death experience that I can 100% say with 100% confidence is this. Nothing happens by chance. Everything happens the way it's supposed to. In other words, you are exactly at the right place, at the right time, in the right circumstances that you are meant to be right now. Now, the third element I want to introduce you to is practice your peaking. Now, peaking is the process of eternalization that allows your awareness and your perception to grow into that totality of everything that God is. And Peaking is a guided meditation. Now, if you can remember earlier, I said I didn't want to come back while I was dead because I was everything that God is. That infinite, perfect love that God is. But I was told I had to come back. And I was given the words to peaking to come back with. And over the last 30 years, I have done this over 20,000 times with people. And that's what our certified eternalization specialists do to others at the Church of Eden. Peaking is a guided meditation. And the words of peaking are doing this. They are taking your unconscious mind, your spirit, and your heart consciousness and literally plugging it in and connecting with God. The words of peaking and the guided meditation open up the portal so that you can connect with God. And peaking is 100% opposite from prayer. Prayer is something you're throwing up into the ethers. But peaking is 100% God streaming himself to you. As you work with specialists from the Church of Eden, and as you become a specialist yourself within the Church of Eden, God's timeless, perfect love reveals his messaging to you right now at the exact moment. Now, the words of the guided meditation of peaking allow you to become still, not the noise of your consciousness mind. And you enter the vertical dimension of God's present moment, literally, because God is streaming himself to you. And when you are in this present moment of God through peaking, fear can't touch you. You are 100% protected from fear when you are in this moment. So allow yourself to experience God through peaking instead of just thinking about God, or instead of just reading about God, or instead of knowing about God. Experience God. Begin knowing God through peaking. So where does all this begin? Where does your spiritual transformation that's going to produce God's visible fruit of God in Eden and Jesus begin? Well, it's just so simple to begin. It's just do it right now. It begins from home. It'll take you 1 minute. All you need to do to begin your journey to unlock your unlimited happiness, to unlock God's divine inheritance that's been predestined and waiting for you, to unlock Eden, to unlock everything that Jesus was in his life, is download for free our Eden Real Unlimited Happiness app. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's where everyone's journey begins. It will be a journey, an experience, and a transformation that I can absolutely guarantee you you've never had before. Because this identity of God has waited until now to be released. I had to wait 30 years after coming back before I could release this. It is now being released to you because this is God's divine time for this to be revealed to you. Humanity has never been in a more fearful state than what it is right now. Humanity has never, ever before been so filled with fear of not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. Fear has caused so many people to go to bed and have no idea what tomorrow means. Scarcity is happening all over the world right now faster than it ever has before. And it's going to only continue to accelerate. AI is taking away tens of thousands of jobs on a daily basis around the world. And it's only going to accelerate as AI is producing for artificial intelligence entities or corporations more and more profit. Corporations do not care about people. Corporations have one purpose in mind: to create as much profit as possible for its shareholders. And that's what's happening around the world because of AI. And that's only in one area. That's only in the area of economics and survival. Fear is moving along at a pace it has never grown at before. It is a momentum, an unstoppable momentum. The only way fear is going to be defeated is through infinite intelligence, is through God, is through everything the Church of Eden is doing for you and all of humanity, so that you can have it and you can help others have it as well. Eternalization is a global movement. It is a global movement of God because for the first time ever, the energy, the consciousness, the awareness of God is in our universe. And it begins very simply by you downloading for free our Eden Real Unlimited Happiness app. You can get it at Google Play. You can get it on the App Store. You can get it from our website. You can get it from any certified eternalization specialist. Just download it. Let's defeat fear globally. And how that happens is one person at a time. And that one person is you. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And I look forward to seeing you in episode 11.